Hey everybody, welcome back to Dear Kismet. My name is Laura and I'm a 6 of clubs, 10 of clubs.
My name is Paula, and I'm the Seven of Diamonds, Nine of Hearts.
And I'm Candy. I'm a 6 of diamonds, ace of diamonds.
Okay, Candy is going to take it away for us today for today's episode.
Yeah, we are back talking about planetary energies again. And if you have been following along at home, you know that we are making our way through the cosmos, galaxy, universe, whatever. We've talked about Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and now we're on to Uranus, Uranus, Uranus. So we'll get back to that in a minute. What do the planetary energies mean? Well, there can be energies between two individuals, and you can find those out by checking out our Cosmic Connection section on the website. You can enter 2 birthdays, and you can find out the energies that exist between you. They also impact us individually, which I have learned thanks to the help of Paula and Laura. So the biggest thing now for me to add into this lesson plan is what exactly each planet means, because that's kind of the secret sauce in the mix. And I'm going to be honest, I have no idea. Like literally nothing comes to me when I think about Uranus, other than the fact that I have no idea how to say the name of it. Is it Uranus, which sounds like pee? Is it Uranus, which sounds like your butt? I mean, what is it, ladies? And does Uranus have something to do with excretions, with eliminations? I'm just trying to guess based on the name.
Well, it actually does. The Uranus part that sounds like urine, they're actually, I looked it up one time because I have to say that planet all the time when I'm giving readings, and I was like getting sick of it. And so the root word urine it's actually a literal meaning in there somehow, but it's like the rain of the gods coming down, like the gods are peeing on you. And one of the meanings of Uranus is like higher consciousness. So like
Ah,
thinking of that raining down on us. And yeah, it's a really weird planet. And like the one physical thing you could say about it is that it's it's leaned way over. You know how the Earth is tilted a little? Uranus is tilted so far that it's almost on its side.
Okay, so what's the general vibe in general about in the card system at least that what is Uranus's vibe?
Okay, so it encompasses the miscellaneous category, which I'll go into later. It's really bizarre, but the main thrust of it is of a neutrality, a vibe of neutrality. So if it's the main vibrational, connection that you have, it's really easy to have no expectations about that other person. It's like you don't need anything from them. You're just kind of okay. It's a really strong friendship vibe. And when you think of Aquarius, the sign that it rules, there's a lot of, you can get some more insight that way. So again, it's about equality, community, and the no expectations part comes partly from like if you have another connection, say a moon connection, where there's going to be a lot of emotional need and agenda coming in there, you're going to feel constantly disappointed until you learn to get to that neutral place, because it's about the unexpected. And so they're going to feel unreliable, or you're going to be unreliable, unpredictable.
Okay, so let's continue down that vein with the cosmic connection. What does it feel like?
Okay, so the way it works in relationships, it actually comes out more clearly when it's paired with another planet, because just like the air in the room, if it's the right temperature, if it's neutral, if it's not assaulting your senses in one way or the other, you don't notice it. So a Uranus connection is just easy by itself. But like if you add in like Venus, and I think we talked about this with Justin Bieber and Selena, maybe, but they have a Venus connection tied to it, or a moon connection, which means it's like now you see me, now you don't. It's like there's a connection. There's a like Uranus isn't a very strong emotional connection. It's just neutral friendship. You're okay if you don't talk for months or years, and then you just pick up where you left off, and there's no expectations, no agenda. But if you bring another planet in there, like especially a personal planet like Moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, there's going to be another energy that establishes more of a connection and more of an agenda. And Uranus is just going to come in and like a lightning bolt, just break it up over and over and over again. So it will create unpredictability until you can reach that place of having no expectations. So that's the calling of that card, is can you relax your expectations? And another energy that it can bring in is that it's very often a mentor-student kind of connection. It's more than the teacher. It's like bringing in higher consciousness. There's a Christ connection to Uranus. So if a really developed or mature person is Uranus to you, they will lift up your consciousness into new and unexplored. Uranus also represents the unusual, the strange. So yeah, it can introduce us to new things, I guess, good or bad, depending on all the other dynamics in the relationship.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to jump over to, basically we're going to combine the row and column. I'm just going to read the cards real quick. So these people have a I'm going to try to adopt Paula's way of saying this. Wait, Uranus. I like that better than the way I was saying it, which was Uranus. So Uranus, these people have a very heavy Uranus influence because they are in either the row or the column on the spread right here, which I'll try to link to below this video so you can look a little closer. So in the Uranus row, we have the Jack of Diamonds, King of Clubs, Two of Clubs, Seven of Spades, Nine of Diamonds, Jack of Clubs, Queen of Spades. And this should be showing you on the screen right now, this little chart, so you can see it. Then we also have, going down in the column, it's Three of Diamonds, Nine of Spades, Jack of Spades, Ace of Hearts, Seven of Clubs, King of Clubs, Six of Spades. So Paula, just to lump those two things together in general, just what is it like for Uranus to be an influence for these people?
Well, they are the influence. It's so great that you use that word because they leave a legacy. So like if you think of the planets, the horizontal lines coming down, each has their role and each leads into the other. So Mercury, they're thinking about it. Venus, they're getting in relationship with it. Mars, they're developing a task. What do we do about it? Jupiter is, how can we make it bigger and bring everybody along and be successful? Saturn is, what's the troubleshooting we need to do? And also, what's the purpose of this thing? Uranus is about leaving a legacy. How can we create an impact on the collective with all of this? So people who are in the Uranus line are very aware of the community. Their nonprofits and humanitarian work is associated with Uranus. So like the Nine of Diamonds in there is really associated with like nonprofits or people who do grant writing. The Queen of Spades is coaching everybody and administrating and making sure that everybody is fitting into their slot. The Seven of Spades is all about this alignment with the truth, the crusader. So yeah, all the cards, people in that line tend to be, let's have an impact. And the Jack of Diamonds is there, which is the card of the USA. And we think and talk a lot historically about how this country introduced a new paradigm to the world, which is supposed to be about freedom and liberty and personal sovereignty. So, and that's another thing, is that there are a lot of jacks in that list. And then if you go over to the spiritual spread, which we're not going to talk about, there are a lot more jacks connected to Uranus. And so jacks, their MO is, what's this new thing I'm going to introduce the world to? And the word that's used with them typically is initiate or initiate. How can I initiate everybody into something new and different, introduce a new way of being?
Yeah, they're like the influencers.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so now we're going to talk about when we have Uranus, dang it.
It does that to you on purpose.
I know, in our, as our hand, we have that card in our hand, and that card in our hand, well, if you want to know what your card is, you got to get on our website, go look up your card, your birth card, so put your birthday in, go to our one-stop shop, get your kit. There's like way more stuff in there, crammed it full of awesome stuff, but you can see your hand and you can actually start to kind of analyze it. So what is our Uranus position? I can't do it. What's Uranus? What does that mean for us in our hand?
Okay. First of all, I want to give Aquarius Maximus a little plug because she suggested this idea to me that if you're a Leo, think of your Uranus card as your planetary ruler. And since I'm a Leo, I've kind of started thinking about that, and it makes a lot of sense. The Uranus card, okay, I tracked this back through terminology and words to discover that Uranus is connected to the genius, the genie, the higher self, this concept that there is a higher aspect of yourself that is in the know, that is like your genie or your genius that guides you into something. And when I have looked at people's Uranus cards and plugged in that idea that, oh, here's where your genie is sitting, it fits really well. The Uranus card is like your hidden genius, your hidden talent. And when we think of it as the humanitarian card, how do I give selflessly, just naturally to the world? What's the legacy that I want to leave? It is connected to your genius because it's this special gift that you bring to the world, and it's easy to give it away. You want to give it away. And it can also indicate aspects of your life that will be unpredictable or unusual. And like if a person is your Uranus card, you can expect them to be unpredictable, unreliable, maybe having a raising of your consciousness influence. And here's where the miscellaneous category comes in. It has to do with labor relations. It's like, oh yeah, I think about that every day. And your real estate situation, like if you want to find out if you're buying or selling or moving, or what your housing situation is going to look like, look at the Uranus card in your spread at that time.
Okay, I'm gonna cut that off, but we'll get back to that. But before we jump into that, I'm just like, before we get into the time periods, let's go real quick. So Candy's Uranus card, she's a 6 of diamonds. So I just looked it up. Is Ace of diamonds right for Candy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell us about that.
Okay, so Candy's special gift, the Ace of Diamonds, is about, hey, I have a new idea. Let's launch this thing. And it's going to be really important and really valuable. And it's so cool and it's unique. So it's an ace. So the special gift she has is to inspire, to motivate, to initiate something new.
Do it.
Yeah, because I mean, Kismet was born from Candy's idea, and even the name Kismet came out of Candy's head. So
I love that. I didn't even know that.
yeah, yeah,
Nailed it. Hashtag nailed it.
Okay, Paula. So I was just counting, but what's yours? The King of Hearts?
Yeah, the King of Hearts.
Ooh.
So emotional development, it's all about emotional maturity. And what does that mean? What does it mean to gain emotional mastery? So yeah, it doesn't mean that you're always good at your Uranus card, but you have a bead into it. So yes, I have been studying emotional development obsessively as far as I can remember. So, and the emotional energy of support, like when I'm in a really good space, it's just like, I just hold everybody with this loving energy, and like everyone's included and we're a family, and I just want to make sure everyone feels, valued and loved. So yeah, that's an example of how I bring that in. And heart males, because it's a face card, it makes it really easy to plug that one in and say, oh yeah, our heart male's kind of unpredictable in my life. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think the way when you do your live videos on your Paula Kruger Facebook page, and your Nurturing Sovereignty group, that's what you do. That's like the gift that you bring, I think, is that holding that space for people and kind of having them reflect on themselves.
Well, I was gonna say that's what you do through the cards all the time. I mean, that's what drew us to you and to keep like talking about you after we had our first reading with you.
Oh, that's such a nice reflection. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, now I want to know about me. My turn.
Enough about you guys. Now about Laura.
Besides this card being my mom's card, that we definitely have that friendship vibration, neutral kind of, but the unpredictability, especially when I was a kid. I've gotten used to it, but
wow.
Yeah, but so 3 of Hearts, what is, besides being my mom, what is it?
Yeah. Okay. So it is the ability to look at relationship in an unconventional way. You can think of 3s as being indecisive, but really they're about options. So your special gift is to think about, well, we could do it this way, or we could do it that way, or we don't have to look at this in this binary way. And I feel that from you all the time. It's like we're never stuck. There's always another possibility. And I think generating creativity and new ideas is really fun for you. And this is something that you and Candy have in common, is that the card under it is the Ace of Hearts. So there's also that it's the card of creation, initiation, and also the inner child. And I think you do have a really easy, nice, natural connection with your inner child.
Thank you. Okay, so now let's get into the period. So we've gone into this in other videos, but you have cards that govern your year. And if you want to know what's going on this year, or even during your 52-day period, which happens every 52 days, it changes. You need a reading for that. So go to our website and go to the menu and look up readings. But we have a period of time that is, well, there's a couple layers here. There's a period of time that's Uranus governed, and then within every 52-day period, there's a Uranus card, so you can get really in detail with that. But just in general, when Uranus shows up in our time periods during the year, what is it telling us?
Okay, that's a really good question. That actually, Uranus is a broad category. So again, when you think of the progression through the year, the Saturn period, which precedes Uranus, tends to be the most challenging, because it's when that troubleshooter comes in and starts asking you questions about purpose and karma and destiny. And if you've had any karma you've had to deal with, it's like, it's kind of it's a character development period of time. So the Uranus period is about kind of a relief from all of that. You get to go into the neutral zone after you've been all intense for a while. And you also get to begin integrating what you've learned throughout the whole year. So it's like you're getting to the other side of the hill, and you really are reflecting and bringing in, what was this about, and how can I piece together a whole with this? And then we'll get into Neptune later, but Neptune does more of the spiritual aspect of that work. And again, it will tell you about, your housing situation, kind of in general, the themes for the whole year. It can tell you what is and has been kind of unpredictable throughout the year, how you're going to be initiated into something new or different.
Yeah, real estate, labor relations.
Yeah. Stuff like
Normal stuff.
Normal stuff like that. Okay, Candy, do you have a way to remember this planet?
Yes. All right. Stick with me here. First of all, it's the only planet that begins with a vowel, and we've talked about lots of vowel words like influencer, initiate, unique, unusual. So those are the words that we can associate with Uranus. But we also talked about like the genie being above, and this whole sense of like tapping into consciousness. So we remember that it rains down like urine. And then there's this whole thing of neutrality, which is really easy for me to remember because I just had no association with Uranus at all. And I think the fact that we say it a million different ways is just kind of there. It's just sort of neutral. So that's how I'm going to remember it. There's a lot. There's a lot to this neutral planet.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, thanks everybody. My name is Laura.
I'm Paula.
And I'm Candy.
And we'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching this episode of Dear Kismet. We would love it if you would subscribe to our channel and share this video. Go to our website, kismet.cards, to look up your card in Cosmic Connections and to ask us a question. You can also find us over on Facebook and Instagram at Kismet Cards.